Hi students, happy morning to all. Welcome to 7th standard video. Today I am going to teach you 7th standard English term 2 unit 2 first prose the last stone carver. First prose the last stone carver section 1. Okay students, shall we move? The last stone carver section 1. The young man flung the hammer and the chisel to the ground and cried. He was leaving his father. He was leaving his father. He was leaving him. He was leaving him and this work. Look what it was brought us, he said. Look what it was present. The young man flung the hammer and the chisel to the ground and cried. He was leaving father. He spread out his arms and glanced indifferently at the small. He spread out his arms and glanced indifferently at the small. Congested workroom. What is meant by congested? Congested means overcrowded. Overcrowded. He spread out his arms and glanced indifferently at the small, overcrowded workroom. The whitewashed walls were stained by many monsoons. The window bare of curtains. The window bare of curtains opened into a tiny backyard. After all these years of work, this is all they heard. This is all they heard, nothing. This kind of work just doesn't pay. The son, the old man's son, the young man said that this kind of work just doesn't pay. The old man stared at his son in surprise. The old man stared at his son in surprise, although his voice trembled. It didn't lose its usual gentleness. It was not only the money that matters, son. It was the service. It was the service they served to God. They were saved to God. Father, the young man grunted impatiently. Further, the young man grunted impatiently. Times have changed. The stone carver's work has changed too. The stone carver's work had changed too. He couldn't live on sculptures for temples only. He had to mass produce like the others in Agra. So he said to his father that come on to Agra. The lines around the man's mouth tightened. No, my son, this is the work I learned from my father. And he learned from his father. They had kept up this translation of hundreds of years, and he hoped he would continue his work. The young man replied with determination, no, father. He was tired of working for a pittance for the committee of the temple in Srinagar. He was leaving his father. The young man moved angrily out of the room, leaving his old father crouching in front of a half-finished marble statue, sitting on heels. The young man moved angrily out of the room, leaving his old father sitting on heels in front of a half-finished marble statue. He trapped his hands into his laps and closed his eyes. He began to pray and didn't even hear the hesitant good boy. His son called out from the door. Master G, called Salim, the servant boy. Master G called Salim, the servant boy, entering the workshop barefooted. He held out a glass of steaming tea in his hand. Master G, he asked once more, his voice filled with concern. The old man looked up. His face was ashen. He looked tired. He called the boy to come closer and motioned him to sit down. Salim, he said gently. Soon he would be the last stone carver there. All the others would had gone to Agra. There they were turning out cheap candlesticks, paperweights, and ashtrays by the dozen. They were making money, but they betrayed out our age-old tradition. Now, Kobal had also gone. He would he would had to finish these sculptures alone and with the help of God. He would done it, Salim. He knew. He knew he would, Master G, the boy answered. He would made many more. The old man looked at the urban boy. The old man looked at the urban boy who had come to work for him 5 years ago. 5 years ago. Trenched into the skin, dressed in tatters, he had begged for shelter during monsoon storm and had stayed on to work for the old master craftsman. He had grown tall and strong. The old man knew that Salim too would leave him one day. He shook his head. His strength was waning. He couldn't walk with the chisel like he used to. Carving took too long, much too long. Then he straightened up and said with fresh determination. What is meant by determination? Firmness to do something. What is meant by determination? Firmness to do something. He would had to finish this work, and surely he would. He would, the boy repeated, offering his master the glass of tea. Drink, please. Drink, please. It would done him good. Then he added, he had to went to the market for an hour or two, but he would be back in time to prepare dinner. He had to went to the market for an hour or two, but he would be back in time to prepare dinner. The old man noted. The old man sighed and picked up the chisel and hammer. The cool metal of the tools filled him with happiness and confidence. He loved his work. The old man loved his work and didn't want to change it for any other in the world. Okay, students, now we see the glossary. Congested, overcrowded. Grunted, made a low sound. Crouching, sitting on heels. Determination, firmness to do something. Okay, students, I hope you enjoyed and learned about the Last Stone Carver section 1. Okay, students, thank you for watching my video. Have a nice day. Thank you.